Irina Vdovets. Irina Vdovets, the only two-time U.S. Olympic rhythmic gymnastics coach, was the coach for Olympians Michelle Bubre, Jennifer Lovell, and Diane Simpson-Bundy. She is a four-time U.S. World Championships team coach and was a U.S. national team coach from 1985 to 95. And in 1986 and 87, Vdovets was honored as the U.S. Rhythmic Coach of the Year. Vdovets now lives in Chicago and is the program director at Illinois Rhythmics. Ladies and gentlemen, Irina Vdovets.
It's a very exciting time for me right now to be among so many talented athletes, and be member of this group is a big honor. I'd like to start from the beginning. 20-some years ago, I came to this country from Moscow, from Russia, and in my last year in college at Northwestern University in Evanston, in Illinois, I decided to start small class of rhythmic gymnastics at the local park district. And in that class, some 20 years ago, Diane Simpson, who is now Olympian, who was an Olympian in 1988, became also Hall of Famer, and also now is Midwest President of the Olympic Committee, trying to get Olympic Games in Chicago. For 2016 was my very first gymnast. She came, yes, it's an incredible story because it's unique, and she was the first one who kept me in this sport. She was the first one who changed my career, which was not planned to be a coaching or anything to do with gymnastics. She changed with her motivation and inspiring character and her family all together, and of course incredible talent. She was already 12 years old, which, as you all know, is a little late for a gymnast to start. But she was incredible. She could do almost everything. She had potential, so I decided I cannot leave it like this. I have to get her to her maximum potential. And at that time, I used all my life saving at that time, and I'm taking her to Los Angeles, to the best school at that time and up to now, one of the best schools in the United States, Los Angeles School of Gymnastics, where Alice Swirsky is the founder and the owner and Olympic coach, and also Hall of Famer. Ale is sitting here, and I'm very happy about that. And we see, and I convinced her and her parents to go to Los Angeles. Please, we have to see the best of the best in the world, so that you see how beautiful the sport is, and you see that your daughter can be as good as anyone. And we did. And since then, we saw Valerie Zimring, who is here today, being inducted in Hall of Fame. Olympian in 1984, was the idol for us. Yes, you became a role model for Diane and for me, and we came back to Chicago, where rhythmic gymnastics was not known at all. And we started our small school of rhythmic gymnastics. And in that small class, we got some other gymnasts that became national team members. And then later on, Caroline Hunt came. She was 5 years old, and up to now, she still is in touch with rhythmic gymnastics in a big way. Now she's leading rhythmic gymnastics. She is the rhythmic program of rhythmic gymnastics. My boss, what can I tell you? Yeah, so Diane Simpson was the first gymnast who went with me to 1988 Olympics, along with another teammate, Michelle Bubre, who was also from Illinois Rhythmics, and also went to 1988 Olympic Games. And then next generation was even more unique, because we had Diane Simpson continue, and also Jennifer Lovell, who is also Hall of Famer from Illinois Rhythmics. She moved from Florida to train with at Illinois Rhythmics, and she made it. She used to call her mother and say, if I'm not gonna make Olympic team, I'm gonna kill myself. And her mother used to call me and say, I don't want it. I just don't want. I want her back in Miami. I said, don't worry, she will make it. And she did make it, and she became also a Hall of Famer. And of course, the next generation at Illinois Rhythmics was Caroline Hunt. Caroline Hunt started rhythmic gymnastics when she was 5 years old. You saw the picture of me with the little girl. That was her. And she became one of the best gymnasts in the United States. She became a junior national champion several times. She became a national team member. And also, she represented the United States at many international big world championships competitions. But most of all, I'd like to say that what makes me really happy and feel accomplished is the fact that all 3 generations of gymnasts stayed with the sport up to date. They really, the sport and that whole 20 years became not like a job. It's really more a life. We were always together. We were always doing things together, even besides gymnastics. And I always know there was a problem. You see, rhythmic gymnastics is not a college sport. It's not high school sport. It's hard to promote, but they didn't need it. They promote themselves and they stayed with rhythmic gymnastics, with the sport. They helping the country to promote the sport. They made the career out of it. Caroline Hunt went to Stanford University and she got a degree in business or education, but her dream was to become director of the rhythmic program so she can lead this country to a next level. I'm really proud of that they stay with the sport for such a long time. I also would like to say that I'd like to thank all the coaches that ever worked with me or traveled with me to competitions. And also, I always felt like we need to go overseas. We need to go to the best places, to places where we can learn more and more and more, so I can give them more experiences so they can improve. And I'd like to thank all those coaches from Bulgaria and Russia and everywhere that opened their doors for us and welcomed us. And I'd like to, I feel blessed that I was able to open the doors for many coaches that would come to the United States to work, and I would always tell them, don't take it as a job. You coming to United States. This is the best country to start your life. How do you know? I said, I know. I've been everywhere. No country in the world ever will make you feel at home like United States. And I feel that way too. I also would like to thank, of course, all the officials, USA Gymnastics. Steve Penny, I know you before you became a president, but I know you will lead this country to the very top. I know it's already on top, but no, yeah, okay. And Steve Penny is going to lead the country to the top and stay there forever. And I'd like to thank, of course, the nominating committee that nominated me, the Hall of Fame committee, for selecting me. And I'd like to thank coaches at Illinois Rhythmic. We do have, with all the challenges that we have lately and all the obstacles like everyone have, we still have a very much quality and high standard program at Illinois Rhythmic. and we have a new superstar coming up, 11 years old Sharon DeSuli, and I'd like to wish her good luck and success in the future years to come, and the coach at Illinois Rhythmics, the head coach Denise Bankston, all the good luck, and I know she will represent Illinois Rhythmics and the United States with the same pride as all other gymnasts did. And of course, at the end, I'd like to thank my family. My son, who is blossomed to a very handsome and beautiful son, who is sitting at the same table with all my gymnasts. He grew up with them, so he has lots of sisters. Yes, and I know they have a bond for the rest of their lives, and he went through a lot of things with me and obstacles, and because it took everything for me to keep it going. I remember when he was 3 years old or so, I was reading a book for him, and he said, "Mom, why is it always when you read a book for me, you always think about your gymnast? Why is that? Can you please concentrate on me ever?" But he knows all my gymnasts by heart, by name, and I'm thankful that he has such a strong bond for them. I also would like to thank for support my second half, a man in my life, David, for giving me a beautiful life that we have, and of course my parents, who unfortunately were not able to come here, who went through me every step of the way. And I'd like to say that I hope to see all of you in 2016 in Chicago.